The year is 1971. In a small corner of Seattle, a tiny store opens. It doesn't sell brewed coffee. It doesn't even serve customers to sit and relax. It only sells coffee beans. Nothing fancy, nothing extraordinary. And yet, this small store would go on to build one of the most powerful brands in the world. A brand that made people pay 5 times more for a simple cup of coffee and feel proud about it. This is the story of Starbucks. In 1971, 3 partners, Jerry Baldwin, Zev Siegel, and Gordon Bowker, started a small coffee business in Seattle. At that time, coffee in America was simple. People drank it at home or grabbed a cheap cup from diners. Coffee was not an experience. It was just a habit. The founders of Starbucks didn't try to change this. In fact, their original idea was very limited. They sold high-quality coffee beans. They educated customers about roasting, and they focused only on people who truly understood coffee. This meant one thing: their market was small. Very small. For years, Starbucks remained just another local store. There was no explosive growth, no massive popularity. But everything changed when one man entered the story. In 1982, a young salesman named Howard Schultz joined Starbucks. At first, his job was simple: to help expand the business. But soon, he noticed something strange. Customers weren't just buying coffee beans. They were curious. They wanted more. And then, in 1983, Howard took a trip to Italy. This trip changed everything. In Italy, coffee was not just a drink. It was a ritual. People stood at coffee bars. They talked, they laughed, they connected. The cafe was not just a shop. It was a part of daily life. Howard saw something powerful. He realized that coffee could be more than just a product. It could be an experience. So he returned to America with a bold idea. What if Starbucks didn't just sell coffee, but created a place where people could belong? A place between home and work. A third place. But there was a problem. The founders didn't agree. They believed Starbucks should stay focused on beans, not become a cafe. This disagreement created tension, and soon, Howard made a difficult decision. He left the company, but he didn't leave his idea behind. Instead, he started his own coffee chain. And slowly, his vision began to take shape. A place where coffee was not rushed. A place where people could sit, relax, and enjoy. This idea was risky, because in America, people were not used to this culture. They wanted speed, not experience. But Howard believed something different. He believed people didn't know what they were missing until they experienced it. And that belief would soon change the entire coffee industry. In 1987, everything came full circle. Howard Schultz bought Starbucks. Now, he finally had control, and this time, he was ready to execute his vision. But he didn't just want to sell coffee, he wanted to redefine it. The first thing he changed was the environment. Starbucks stores were no longer simple shops. They became warm, inviting spaces. Soft lighting, comfortable seating, calm music in the background. Every detail was designed carefully, because Howard understood something most businesses ignored. People don't just buy products, they buy feelings. Then came the second big shift: pricing. Instead of competing with cheap coffee, Starbucks went in the opposite direction. They made their coffee expensive. This was a bold move, because higher prices meant higher expectations. But Howard wasn't afraid. He knew that if the experience felt premium, people would justify the price, and that's exactly what happened. Next, Starbucks focused on personalization. Customers were not treated like numbers. Baristas wrote names on cups. They customized drinks. They remembered regular customers. This created a sense of connection. It made people feel seen. And slowly, Starbucks became more than just a coffee shop. It became a daily habit, a status symbol, a lifestyle. Carrying a Starbucks cup started to mean something. It signaled taste, it signaled identity. And then came expansion. Starbucks didn't just grow in America. It spread across the world, one city at a time. But no matter where it went, the experience remained consistent. Whether you were in New York or Tokyo, walking into Starbucks felt familiar. That consistency built trust, and that trust built a global brand. By the early 2000s, Starbucks had achieved something incredible. It had turned a simple commodity, coffee, into a premium experience. People were no longer paying for caffeine, they were paying for atmosphere, for comfort, for identity, and most importantly, for a feeling that no ordinary coffee shop could deliver. And that is how Starbucks made coffee feel premium.